It's thinking.
There we go.
And welcome everyone to episode 156 of The Sound. I am Kevin Harris.
I am Lisa Wills.
I'm Matt James.
And I'm back. I'm Jared.
That's it. He is back. Guess who's back?
Back again.
So we've got New Dilemma on the show tonight. They'll be joining us here in just a little bit. We have the Grudge Match, which will feature Otvlier taking on Messer. But as usual, we will talk about some goings on. And, you know, we were supposed to be live last week, but due to the storm, we didn't want to take a chance of being live and losing power or anything like that. So, but I think both Jared and I know I made out like a band that had some pine needles on the driveway, and that was about it.
Yeah, it was lackluster, which is always a good thing. It didn't really materialize.
People in Louisiana,
right? No, I'm saying
we
for
understand 100%. So they took the brunt of it down in that Houma, Thibodeau area. So prayers to all of them for that.
Did it ever develop into a hurricane?
Yeah, it actually hit as a Category 2.
It did. Okay,
yeah.
So it went as predicted, but just not to
it
your
didn't shift
area.
anymore east. It kind of stayed the western track, which was good for us, bad for Louisiana. But Kevin Joey was just sharing some stuff in a group chat about something that's potentially about to develop out in the Gulf again. So we might be right back, and it's looking like it's going to hit Louisiana.
Of course it is. So we'll go from there. But other things that are going on. What's everybody been listening to lately?
It's really okay. Well, I guess I've been getting sort of pumped up. I've got a bunch of shows this weekend. I'm going to see Nothing More, Set It Off from Ashes to New and Post Profit on Friday. And then on Sunday, I've got Caskets, Windwalker, and Colorblind. So I am very excited. I've got 2 killer shows this weekend. So I've been listening to a lot of Caskets, a lot of Post Profit, and a lot of the new album Colonel from Nothing More, getting myself excited for that. Also, Set It Off dropped a new single.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been listening to that as well. Good. It is good. Yeah, they're a great band.
Matt?
Well, I have been, obviously, I listen to new music every time it drops on a Friday, and I listen to the song a few times over. But outside of that, I have been listening to the best place that you can consume your music and find new bands, and that's the Sound 228 app.
There you go.
Seamless plug. Yes.
But I've literally been listening while I've been sat here working. I've literally had the app on. I haven't really gone and dived into any bands because there's so much good music on the app.
There you go. I love that. You go,
Jared.
The Cost put out, I think, a new one. I listened to that not too long ago. Kind of had that bouncing around. And then Matt, I was trying to look on my phone. What was the one you sent me the other day? Was that Grove?
Oh, I sent you 2. I sent you Grove Warden, which got added this week.
Grove Warden.
Yeah, they're local boys to me. They are.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it's definitely there's. I don't know where to put that track. There's got a lot going on in different, like, there's a bit of metalcore in there. There's a bit of like kill switch in there. There's a bit of progressive metal in there and stuff. It's a great track, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And me being typical me, I mean, it depends on the day on what I've been listening to, but I'm still pretty enthralled in that Falling in Reverse Popular Monster album. It's so good.
It really is.
That and I'd been listening to some Set It Off lately, and I got back on the Electric Callboy train again for a little while and went down that rabbit hole with them. So, it's good music to listen to on your way to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
it makes you maybe want to walk through the door.
Get you pumped up for the day, right?
I have a new band.
What's that?
I have a new band. So Anne sends me new music all the time. But But she sent me a band a couple weeks ago. They're called As Day Breaks, and they have a song out called Ashes. Really, really good. I'm not sure if it's a debut single. I'd have to double check. But it was really, really good. They are female fronted. It was just great metalcore type vibes. I loved it. So I was, and I got to see Anne last week. I was working in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Anne lives about 5 minutes from there. So we were able to catch up and have dinner together. It was really nice to see her.
Nice.
So I'll do a shameless plug for the other company I work for, and there are some new Academy sports stores opening up in Pennsylvania. So
inside track, Ann.
There we go. Inside info. We don't just stick to music, people. We are here for all the knowledge.
We have your sporting good needs covered.
Right. Yeah.
You never know. I may end up there helping one of the stores open because the district manager is a friend of mine. So.
Well, that's okay because I'll be back in Allentown. I am now working for the branch manager for Hepico in Allentown. So now I have to keep going to Allentown. So look for me around Thanksgiving again, Ann. I'll be around.
There you go. So we are probably going to be a week behind talking about this, but we as a group together, the four of us, have not had a chance to kind of have this conversation. But another song that I've been listening to on pretty good repeat is the new one from Linkin Park. And we haven't had a chance to talk about what our thoughts are on Linkin Park. So who wants to start on that one?
I mean, I'll go. I have to tell you, I was watching them, at Kia Forum. They started with their new track. So I'm just so happy to see musicians pull back together and try to get back into doing what they love. It's in their DNA. They want to create, they want to make music. And so I'm so happy for them that they decided to finally do that. I think, when Emily came out, she started singing. I loved it. I love this song, The Emptiness Machine. It is absolutely on repeat. It's 100% a Linkin Park track. I'm super, super happy for them. I think, it's been a long time, and I think it's time, it's time for them, I think, to try again and to start anew. And I'm super, super happy for them. I think that them going with a female vocalist was the right choice. I think if they had chosen a male vocalist, it might have been too difficult with so many vocal comparisons, etc. I feel like you have to almost go in a different direction to get that fresh start. So I absolutely love it. I'm really happy for them. I hope that this opens them up to a whole new cache of fans. I hope that the younger generation that's just coming up into our genre, I hope they grasp on. There's people who have a lot of really heavy opinions on this. And, you're not living in their shoes. At the end of the day, it's their business. It's their band. So I'm happy for them that they decided to go ahead and give it another shot.
I mean, I'm all about it. I think, like you said, the new song is absolutely a Linkin Park song. You could hear if Chester was still here, you could hear Chester singing that. But that being said, bringing it out and bringing Emily in to sing and starting a new era, it's a legit Linkin Park song, and it is great. Yeah. And that's my opinion on it. Just the song. So I can't wait to hear the rest of the album.
Well, do you have anything to say about the fact that they started again? Because a lot of people are sort of pissed off that they kept the Linkin Park name.
I will tell you this. Linkin Park, first two albums, absolutely loved them. After that, I could care less what Linkin Park put out. They really just, to me, and it's nothing against what they did. It just was not my style. It was not something that I would just go out of the way to listen to. I got to see Linkin Park on the tour. It was the day off from Ozfest, and we had it at the Coliseum, and it was Papa Roach, and it was Slipknot, and it was Linkin Park, and I forgot who else fucking played that, but
Mudvayne.
Mudvayne. I mean, it was.
I think Disturbed was there too.
Yeah, Disturbed was there too. It was literally, it was called Day Off Fest. It was Ozfest, and they had a day off between Florida and Houston, and they hit Biloxi. And not all the bands played, but those bands played, and it was a lot of the up and coming at that time. So I got to see Linkin Park when Linkin Park was still teenagers.
Wow.
So it was that kind of Linkin Park I was in love with. The newer stuff and the later stuff, I really wasn't that big of a fan of. But this song right here is back to those first two albums, and I love it. I mean, one of my favorite songs that they've ever put out was "Bleed It Out," and
I love that song.
Now that was off the later albums that you're talking about.
It did come out a little bit later, but it was back to that original sound.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's where they're at with this. Now, what the rest of the album sounds like, we have no idea. But if it sounds like what this is, I'm in love with Linkin Park all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Jared?
Yeah. I dig the new song. I'm kind of like what Lisa said. I don't mean it's ugly, but it kind of sounds like it could have came right off of the stuff they were releasing right before Chester passed away. It didn't sound really, it just sounded like Linkin Park. So that's good, I guess. I went and saw Pantera a couple months back, and there was that whole debate on whether they should be playing or not. And as someone who never saw them back when it was the original members, I loved seeing them live. So if new fans get to experience that, so be it, is how I look at it. I'm like Kevin, I fell in love with the first two records. There's a ton of nostalgia wrapped up in those records for me. They never put out anything that ever hit me like those first two records did, and they probably never will, but that's me.
Fair.
Nice. Now, I had a very strong opinion on this to start with, because I am a huge Linkin Park fan.
We had some healthy debate about it.
Every album they put out, I'm in love with. My favorite song of theirs is "Giving Up," which a lot of people in the mainstream don't even know that track. And
really?
It wasn't one of their popular ones, was it? A lot of people know the popular Linkin Park songs like "Calling" and shit like that. Like people didn't dive into like albums and stuff and love albums, And I thought that there was no doubt in my mind that Linkin Park would carry on at some point after Chester passed. There was no doubt in my mind whatsoever. You can't just let a band like that die. And as for old Linkin Park and Emily singing old Linkin Park, that's a no-go for me, because no one is ever going to sing old Linkin Park like Chester. No, ever. But you have to look at this band as, like Kevin said, it's a new era of Linkin Park. You have to embrace that and not look back. You have to look forward in what they're putting out now, not what they've done previously. And so far from what I've heard, and I'm hoping that the rest of the album is exactly the same, it's fantastic. I think she's done a great job, and I think it was a great asset.
I can't even imagine being her and getting that call. And can you imagine stepping on that stage at Kia Forum? No one even knew who they were going to announce. And then she's got to walk out there, not shake, not fumble, not anything. And you literally have to give the performance of your life.
Right. You've got to take your hat off to her for, I wouldn't say essentially stepping in those shoes, but
it's to criticism. It's to mass criticism from
you know full well that you're going to get bashed.
Yeah. Right. But I think it took a lot of, I'm happy for them, man. I'm happy for Mike Shinoda. I'm happy for Linkin Park. I'm happy for her. Of course, then everybody's got to hash out all her private business.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
I didn't hear any of that.
Well, you knew it was coming. It all has to do with her Scientology and
supporting Danny Masterson.
One
day of his trial.
She just made one comment. It wasn't like Ashton Kutcher and what's her name when they wrote that big letter of support.
No, she just happened to, during one of the days of the trial, either made a comment or something, or showed up or did something. She just supported because and now like I saw somebody put on a comment going, I'm not even going to like her because she supports rapists and all of that. And I'm like, gee, give me a break.
Fuck out of
Yeah.
That's
here.
the world we live in, baby. That's the
Yeah,
world we
I mean,
live in.
But
Just
the big
enough.
issue I have with this Linkin Park announcement is I never got to see Linkin Park live.
Oh damn!
And it was on, you know, it's on my bucket list to see Linkin Park live, whether it's Chester or not. So I can almost guarantee you that they're headlining Download Festival next year.
That'd be amazing.
So I now have to look at spending the money out to go Download Festival next year. That's the issue I have.
You know, Danny Weimer presents is the Sonic Temple Music Festival, which is what I was referring to
Right.
earlier when I saw Pantera. They just sent an email because I'm on their email list now, and they're making the announcement tomorrow of who the headliner is going to be, and they said it's the most requested band to headline. Matt, I didn't even put two and two together. I wonder if it's
going to be
Linkin
Linkin
Park.
Park.
I didn't even connect the dots there.
Yeah, it's going to be. This is another reason why they've held off for 7 years for a reason, because they wanted everything. You know, people grieve in different ways, and it's obviously hit the band hard and stuff, but they have to keep moving forward. And them announcing it at this time of year sets them up for the festival season next year.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, it does.
You know,
you must
they're
be
not
in the
stupid.
business.
They're not stupid. You know, they've been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I like it.
Now, let's roll into the grudge match.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Who we got, Kevin? Who we got?
So
I
the
like
grudge
I like the
match-
fireside chat to start the show, though. I like it. The comments
good
were
stuff.
engaging too. So
But the grudge match tonight featuring Champion Messer going for their second win with Find Out, and they are up against challenger Outlier and their song with Chris Motionless and Warrior. So if you guys are ready, you know how it works. Second video starts, you'll see a poll pop up on Facebook. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, put it in the comments. Video number 1 or video number 2, we'll count them there. And at the end, we'll announce who the winner is and moves on to the next episode. So if you guys are ready, we will roll.
Fired up.
Here we go.
I can feel it inside myself, convulsing inside itself. A buried rage fights to escape, to taste the blood of everything it hates. Standing tall, I show no fear. I want it all and my vision's clear. Give me life, forgive and death. There is no rest, and I'll fight until my last breath. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Warriors, rise from the grave. We will end the time. These stars are the price we pay. Warriors, rise from the grave. Can you feel it inside yourself? The beast dwells behind a shell. A thirst for blood and no fear of the pain. Can you feel it course through your veins? Standing tall, I refuse to bow. Nothing will ever stop me now. Give me life, forgive me. suffering. We got nothing to lose, so we fight. When we're face to face with tyranny and hate, we'll sacrifice for blood and our pain. When we're face to face with the enemy, we will change the sides. I don't know when the time. Warriors arise from the grave. We will end like a tidal wave. These skies are the price we pay. Warriors rise from the place. Rise from the grave. We are the masters of our legacy. From days to victory. Warriors rise from the grave. Rise from the
All right, there he is, the challenger outlier. That is Warriors with Chris Motionless. They are your challenger tonight on the Grudge Match. So the band that's the champion in the Grudge Match is also playing our Winterfest show. It's the band Messer. So on that being said, there's a winter storm coming. The Sound 228 and the Juke Joint present the Winter Storm with Post Profit.
Yeah, you take it too far. I haven't fun.
Post Profit at the Juke Joint, November 16th. And from Dallas, Texas, Messer. November 16th at the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, the Winter Storm with New Dilemma. Them guys. And a moment of violence. The Winter Storm at the Juke Joint, November 16th. Tickets available now at thesound228.com. $20 in advance, $30 day of show. Being brought to you by Wake Up Music, Spade Images, J Eagle Audio, 228 Entertainment, and the Sound 228. All right, there it is. Tickets on sale right now. Go to thesound228.com. Get your tickets for $20. There are $20 in advance and $30 day of show.
It's gonna be one.
Oh yeah. That's a killer lineup.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be a fun time. But let's roll into our champion now. Here is Messer. It is the Grudge Match. Get ready to see that poll. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, put it in the comments. Here's your champion, Messer. This is Find Out, and you are watching The Sound.
Stuck in the corner again. Pressure got me feeling like I can't stand. The tidal wave is crashing down on my head. Everything that's trapped in me, breaking out, rising up from underneath, set fire deep inside and I can't breathe. Yeah. And I can feel the way suffocate my soul. There's no escape. You should know that. Just when you thought you started to figure me out, all your lies in control of me, I'ma burn it all down. yeah. Just when you thought you started to figure me out, all your lies and control of me, I'ma burn it all down. Try to bury the part of me that can think for myself. Keep on pushing me, fuck around and find out. Just when you thought you started to figure me out, all your lies and control of me, I'ma burn it all down. Try to bury the part of me that can think for myself. Keep on pushing me, fuck around and find out.
All right, we're all
You're-
muted. Yeah,
Yep,
I
you
know.
There we
forgot.
go.
Unmute us.
You
Unmute us,
forgot.
Kevin. Unmute us. So,
Anyway, so that was Messer, and we stopped that video because it's still got about a minute to go, and they
Yeah.
do the whole Office Space parody on it with the stapler and everything. So
it's
but
a
yeah.
great video, and like 2 great videos.
Yeah.
And both telling the story. You know, we speak a lot on here about music videos and giving a narrative of the song, and don't just stand in a room and play the kit. You know, that's been done a million times. Give us that story. And like for me, nothing against any other band that's put a music video out. That Outlier video is probably one of the best music videos I have seen, hands down, for a very, very long time.
No, and I get that, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm so infatuated with Falling in Reverse right now. His production on his music videos and his stories and everything that he puts together with that is just, I can't even explain it. It's like the old days, when there used to be, we're going to make a music video, but it's going to be 20 minutes long and we're going to do a movie. It's going to be a mini movie. And it
like
tells
Thriller.
the story. It tells the story and all of that. And it's just, they're great when they spend the time and they're able to do that.
Yeah. And it's giving us that, give us your visualization of what you think the song should look like.
Right.
Give us your meaning behind it. Like my most watched video on YouTube this year is probably hands down Shallow Side Filters.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
that's another one. I didn't think about
Really
that.
good.
That's a really good video.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And speaking of Outlier, by the way, they are heading out on tour next month with Deadlands and Renaissance. So please go head over to, I think it's deadlands.com, and grab your tickets.
Yes. Definitely get your tickets. I was reading what Gene had said there.
Yeah, you're good.
Of course, Spade Images, one of our sponsors for our shows. Great job by him. If you are looking for a music video, he's one you can shoot out to. So
yeah, he's okay. He seems like a cool guy.
Speaking of cool guys, we've got New Dilemma backstage. Do we want to bring them in?
Yes.
Yes. Let's bring them in.
Pat, first time guest. Let's get acquainted.
Hey, how we doing,
How are
guys?
you?
Hi.
Good. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
yeah.
you, bro.
I can hear you great. That's probably one of the best sounding mics one of our guests have ever used.
Amen.
I try. Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. And thank you for coming down November 16th or coming up November 16th to play with us at our Winter Storm show. So tell us a little bit about New Dilemma.
Give you
Let us know.
the story.
Everything.
All right, I'll give you the quick version here. We're going on 8 years. Halloween this year will be 8 years since started New Dilemma. The story goes, I was in a band when I was younger. My daughter was born with spinal muscular atrophy, and we were about to go on tour with Creed at the time and do an arena tour. This is when I was a bit younger, but she was born with a disability and decided it was time to be a dad. That's what needed to happen. So fast forward some years later, I'm a single dad. Her mother got into some bad stuff. It's a whole different story. End up with a single dad, and she was 17 years old at the time, maybe 16, and said, "Dad, why don't you go show the world what you got again? You've been taking care of me for a long time." And I walked out the room that night and I said to myself out loud, I said, how am I in this new dilemma all the time of things? And bam, that was the name and the inspiration behind the band. And most of the lyrics, songs, and stories is our life and the things that we've been through. And we've had a hell of a run, and just, you know, off the charts on the Dirty 30 with you guys for some weeks. And man, we're having a good time, and couldn't be more excited about the future at this point, and really excited to get out there with Post Profit and Messer and them guys. It's going to be a great show. So that's where we're at, man. That's the quick synopsis of how this came to be.
So, just recently, I guess it was recently, well, not too recently for you guys, a couple months ago that you guys played the House of Blues in New Orleans.
House of Blues,
not New Orleans, in Orlando.
Yes, we played House of Blues Orlando, packed out, man. What a phenomenal night. That was a dream show for me. I played there when I was younger, and it was a bucket list to get back there, and we had a blast, man. The crowd was in it, and it was amazing. Love that.
I got to see a New Year's Eve show there. It was Seven Dust, Nonpoint, and Rev Theory.
That's
long time ago.
That's a good one.
Probably 2008 or so, but that venue itself is absolutely fantastic. Such a great venue.
Just amazing sound. The crew was great, man. Just an amazing night. We got to play with Soul Switch, which 8 or 9 years ago, when I went back into music, I went to the House of Blues to see one of these Orlando rock shows, and Soul Switch was on that night. So it was so cool to 8 years later be sharing the stage with those guys. It was just a blast.
When you talk about the Orlando rock scene, and we've talked with quite a few bands that are from the Orlando area. Tell us about that, right? I mean, how is that rock scene there in Orlando?
It's good, man, but it's getting harder for the fact of the smaller venues are fading away. Things are becoming more concert venue, less local bands. So I'm going to be honest. If I was a new band trying to cut my teeth right now, it's tougher than it was even 8 years ago for me. And man, it wasn't easy then, right? You got to beat the doors down to get those first shows. So, you know, but overall, the talent that's in Orlando, like, I'm sorry, I feel like we should be another LA or New York as far as that goes.
Nice. So we're to the point now. Run and Hide, you just is at radio right now and doing well. So from that point, where do you guys see yourself with the rest of 2024 and rolling into 2025?
Right now, our main focus is we're actually already writing again. We will have a new single coming out real soon called Spiral. It's on the EP. But that's going to be the next one, probably out on radio and stuff like that. Other than that, we're really just working on new music and exploring opportunities for touring, because we feel like we're at that point where you've sort of broke out of what we call the local scene. You know, we've toured nationally with Cold, and, you know, getting out there with these awesome bands with you guys. So touring is really our next focus, because for me, you have to be able to perform and get out there and show that emotion to the crowd to get the full connection. And I think there's a false sense a little bit between record and live. And I think you need that live experience sometimes. But man, we love to perform, and that's really our next focus is getting out and doing more shows. And our manager's working on stuff and what the next moves are with our next music and all that good stuff. So the behind the scenes stuff is busy on the next moves.
All right. Well, we've got Run and Hide queued up, ready to play. And
awesome.
Jared, you want to do this?
Yeah. So one of the themes on the show, man, is you can tell us everything or tell us nothing about the video or the meaning of the song.
The meaning of the song, to me, I call this kind of like part 2 of Bury My Demons off of our first record. I mean, these are just things that I really lived through. And like, sometimes you have to run and sort of put the demons behind you. They don't go away, but you have to kind of try and move forward and keep seeking. I always call it darkness to light. I always try and build a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel with New Dilemma music. And that's really what it's about is sometimes you have to run away from the demons and really find yourself, and you got to hide away from them and fight for your life and, mental health. And it's just, that's really what it's about. It's deep for me, but the guy who shot at Kill Devil Films, Thomas Crane, he's an incredible music video guy.
Absolutely.
And we, since day one, he did Playing Victim, he did Bury My Demons, and we tell him, build the story and run with it. We want you to take what you're getting out of it, use your creative stuff, and this Run and Hide's what we came up with this one.
Nice.
All right, well, here it is. It is New Dilemma. It's Run and Hide, and you're watching The Sound. There you have it. New Dilemma, Run and Hide.
Hell yeah.
Great song.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. I really appreciate that.
It is, and it's also a great video. Now, sometimes here at the Sound, when we know there's a guest coming on, like that's the first time I've seen that video because I wanted a bit of mystery for the show tonight. And I said earlier about the Outlier video, tell the story.
Yeah.
And you told that story.
I appreciate that, man.
You know, Kill Devil does great work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
That was killer, man. I dug it too.
Awesome. That's what we love to hear, man. We've as they all do, man. We put our hearts and souls in this thing, and swing for the fences. If you're gonna swing, swing for the fences.
We've talked about it on the show a few times though about putting in the effort and the taking it serious, what you put out, your product, right? And you can see that y'all definitely pay attention to detail and went and did it professional, I guess is the best way to put it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I think we've got to a point in music where if it doesn't look like you care, I don't think anybody else is. And that's not a shot at any other bands, but like just cutting a record for $500 and spending a day on it is not going to get the breakthrough. I mean, there's endless talents out there. Like the talents in music is stupid right now. There's so many great bands, but if you don't take it seriously, run it professionally, and make sure that these things look right, like there's again, you can get on YouTube and find a great video. So you got to make a reason why people want to get to that.
And it's something I
And-
say all the time. Like anything you do in this industry has got to be top tier level.
Absolutely.
Because, like you say, if you don't care about your music, why should the fans or anyone in the industry care about your music?
Absolutely.
It's got to be at a level, because you got to look at local bands. You're battling in the local scene, but that's not your competition. Your competition is the likes of Architects and Shinedown and Falling in Reverse and stuff. That's the people that you are competing against, not the local scene.
And local bands get caught up in that. Unfortunately, it's like we're not battling each other. We're all swinging for the stars. And the one thing I've learned, no path is the same for any band, depending on your team, how you approach it, how everything is different. And people think there's this one defined path, and it's just not true. And before I forget, shout out to our lead guitarist, Zach Robin out there, Roach on the bass, Sean Kimmerling, our drummer, Stephanie Stone handles all our merch stuff. My wife, Cherry, who's also one of the merch girls, our team that makes our world go round, and Paul Crosby Management and our label Pavement. Can't forget the shout outs. Without all those names, this doesn't happen. So appreciate you guys.
You got to have the team behind you, haven't you? So I've got a question circling back to you being in the industry and then obviously having to go and be a full-time dad. What difference have you found from being in the industry when you were young to how it is now? Because obviously it's changed over the years. How have you found that?
I guess it's such a different mindset I was in both times. Honestly, when I was young, I can say it could have been more superficial and I wouldn't have cared. Like, how do I get there? Whatever I need to do to get there. This time, the pride that I take in everything that we do, our words, our stories that are behind this and why we created this. Like, I have such more artistic approach. The industry, though, I mean, as a whole, it's just so drastically different. And I was baptized by fire, to be honest with you. I say that all the time, coming from the way we did it old school to now. But also, just like this, you couldn't get on and have an interview with great people like yourselves and see 200 or 300 people. Because I look at it different. People are like, man, it only got 200 views. And I was like, in my day, to get 200 views, you had to sell 200 tickets. So you might want to think about that. Everything, it's a blessing, it's a curse, but you got to use everything to the best ability to get people to relate. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a connection of my life and stuff people are going through. And for us, man, that's what it's about, the connection. And maybe I can, just like on tour, you have that conversation with that single dad, which almost every show, single dads came up to me. There was a point where I thought, man, I got to be the only single dad in this world. Like, this isn't normal, let alone to a special needs kid. And then you get out on the road and you find out you were never alone. There's so many people. And that's like the most important thing to me. But it's all part of the industry as far as I'm concerned. And I think you can make a far more easier connection now than you could when I was doing it back then.
Well, I mean, everyone starts from zero. Even all the bands that you like that are huge right now, at one point, they started from zero. So I think it's really important that, you invest in yourself as well. I'm curious. I've been talking with a lot of bands recently about radio campaigns, and I'm finding that a lot of artists aren't bothering with it anymore. They are choosing to avoid it because it's so expensive, depending on the kind of radio campaign that you want to go with. And they're just electing to really go that video route in terms of their social media. Do you have an opinion on that in terms of your own band? I mean, what do you think that the right path is? I feel like a lot of bands just aren't.
We believe when we had a meeting about that with Paul a couple weeks ago on Spiral, and should we do radio again, or should we do it here, do it there? There's different routes to try and get, over to Octane and these other outlets. But Paul, and, being in Saliva and old school, he sort of has an old school approach, but he believes that and those charts are the visibility. Does he think it's the thing that's going to, bust you out of the gate in the grand scheme of things at FM radio? Maybe. I mean, you know what I mean? There's always, like, we call it the lottery ticket. There's always the maybe, but we call it the radio visibility because everybody checks those charts. Those big bands that everybody sees down that list, their management and everybody on their teams are going through those lists, even the secondary charts. So we believe it's more visibility to the industry than anything. But we do believe it's important to still be a part of FM radio, I mean, it's still pretty strong.
Okay.
No, I agree. And I didn't even think about what you said about other managers, other labels, other looking at these charts and who's on the charts. Oh, I haven't heard of them. Let me go check them out.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I look back at, I don't know, the last year of bands that have tried to, and there's been one that just, they hit it with the right song and it has worked for them. And that was Sleep Theory.
That is so
yeah.
hard to do. You realize that is
Yeah.
literally probably one of the single bands out of the decade
Yeah.
that is
Absolutely.
going to have that achievement.
I mean, they
Definitely.
had a
It is.
single and it climbed the charts. It sat there and it sat there. And then all of a sudden they're playing all the big DWP festivals. They're getting on the big
Yeah.
tours. They're heading out with Daughtry right now. I mean, it's just like, what did they do? What is different?
Sometimes it just works. You know, their presence is heavy on TikTok. Like it's very difficult as a whole in our life, in my personal life, to create this huge content every single day for TikTok and Instagram and all these things. We do the best that we can, but I do think I'm still keep our band at a slight disadvantage. That's one thing they did is they had Sleep Theory had videos constantly, like whether you wanted to or not, you were going to see it. But also what level you're able to create content. I mean, there's so much more that goes into that when people see a TikTok than you think to make it not look like crap. So,
Right.
you know, but yeah, I think for them, that's where I seen everything happen. And also then they started getting that constant spin on Octane and it was just like a catapult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bands like that, lottery winners. Like you look at Sleep Token. Sleep Token have been a band for years over here, right? And very few people knew who they were. In this past, year, 18 months? Now they're selling arenas tours around the world in minutes when they go on sale.
Yeah.
You know, it's lottery winners.
You never know, man.
Going back to the Sleep Theory though, I saw them at the Sonic Temple, and you mentioned, Kevin, the song. I mean, that song resonated, right? Like people write, a lot of people write songs, a lot of people write good songs, but to have one resonate like that, what's the it factor? What's the secret sauce? Who knows? But then they also kill it live. You know, they sounded like the record.
Yeah.
So
very important.
You can't leave that. You can't leave that part out. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. That was just one that just like when I said it, Lisa popped in on it. I mean, it once in a decade.
Yeah.
And it happened. I haven't seen that with any band, and I couldn't tell you how long.
I tell everybody overnight success, 10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. To do that.
Yeah. What was that? There was a video that came out right after that song started kind of climbing on Octane or whatever. I think they played one of those rock cruises.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
Shipwrecked?
I couldn't remember which one it was specifically, but like the cell phone videos coming back from that, you could tell they destroyed that room that they were in. I mean, it was just a great performance. That's how you win fans. I mean, you led with that on, when you came on, like delivering the emotion or however you put it, earlier.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's the truth.
Absolutely, man. We believe in that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and they're a Memphis band. They're from Memphis. So anyways, let's move on. So how can anybody, if anybody's looking to find New Dilemma, what's the best way to locate you guys?
You can go to newdilemma.com and there's links to everywhere there. Any of the socials, we're at New Dilemma Official. Streaming anywhere you listen to music, you type in New Dilemma and you're going to find us. Google New Dilemma, you're going to find us. We're everywhere.
Awesome.
I love it.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you guys.
Look forward to having you November 16th at the Winter Storm. And,
awesome, man.
Looking forward to a fun night.
All right, man. We'll see you guys soon. And thanks for spending New Dilemma. We appreciate you guys.
Yes,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Have a great night, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
All right.
I like it.
All right. Let's see. Let me make sure. So we've got next. Because we're
Yeah, we're a week off because
Yeah.
we canceled last week. We postponed.
We will be back next week.
Oh.
Yes. I put it in the chat. American Progress will be joining us next week.
I've been having such a shit week, man.
They will. The reason why you don't know is because I haven't made the graphic yet.
Yeah. So, and one thing that we are doing, which will air in a couple weeks, on a week we don't have a show, we are going to air kind of an interview show. We'll be doing that interview here in just a little bit. We will have Shim, the former lead singer of Sick Puppies, and he's got his new song out. We will be chatting with him here in just a little bit, and you will see that, I believe, the first Wednesday in October, which is October 2nd, I believe.
Which is when the tour starts with Shallow Side.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're, heading out with Shallow Side and Anything But Human. So we'll be chatting with him, and that will air on October 2nd. So we got a couple weeks of straight shows for you guys, for you to check out. And on that note, let's see.
Keep your eye on our socials, because I go
live.
live.
You figure that out, Kevin. I want to announce something else that's going to happen.
Okay.
Because we've been teasing it for so long.
Oh, it's finally your OnlyFans?
And we keep talking about it, but I'm done talking about it.
It's the
You
OnlyFans.
will see Riff TV before the end of the year.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be fun. I like
it'll be
Sponsored by
live.
Matt's OnlyFans.
I just
It will be live.
it will be. It will be
Yes,
live.
I know, Kevin. It's a difficult one, but we're going to do it. It's got to happen.
We're gonna make it work. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna have a music video show.
Yeah,
So
and if I
that's
don't
what-
say it live right now and tell everyone it's happening, it ain't going to happen. So it's happening.
That's what Riff TV is a music video show. So is this the most recent one for tomorrow? No,
What?
nothing. We got a premiere tomorrow. Cold
We
Words.
do.
I didn't put the graphic in here to be able to pop it up.
No,
We
me
do it-
neither. Usually I do that, but I didn't.
I believe it's Antidote, correct?
Antidote by Cold
It
Woods.
is.
From midnight.
all day tomorrow. Cold Words, their new single. And then do we have one next week too?
We do have another one coming. I don't know
Is
if
it
it's
7
next week.
next week?
What?
Is it next week?
Is it?
We'll have to look at it. So
Well, yeah, it's 7
Yeah.
anyway.
Spoiler alert.
I think it's next week. I don't know. We do so much at the sound here, we get confused of what day of the week it is.
That's not true.
I do. I'm on a completely different time zone.
Oh. Anyway,
Like-
who won the grudge match?
the Grudge Match with 90% of the votes
Whoa.
is Outlier.
Whoa.
It is a
So-
sick video, though.
Outlier will be back next week to take on New Dilemma.
Okay.
They're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they are going to be tough to beat. And
It's going to be a tough one.
such
We
a
may
good
be
video.
handing out another award.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
might.
we'll have
It's
another one to
just-
put out.
Like for
But,
me, if you're going to feature someone like Chris Motionless, you have to smash it out the park. And the track's fire, the video's absolute fire. And
And go see it
Joey
live.
sat on that for over 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding. He wanted to make the timing right. And what did he
Smart.
tell us, Lisa? As soon
He
as
said it was-
Chris said Motionless in White was done for the year, as
Yep.
far as and they said he got permission from Motionless in White's label and everything. They said go.
Yep. And they just needed their own lane. That's what Joey said. And I think the timing was right. So if you haven't seen that video yet, if you haven't checked out Outlier, please do so. They're going on tour. Please come out. If you're on the East Coast, please come out and see Outlier. I promise you will not be disappointed. Come
There you
join
go.
me. I'm going to be at like 3 or 4 of those shows. Come hang out.
Concert hall.
Have some fun.
So anyways, our September magazine issue is out with the Almas on the cover. Check it out at thesound228.com
Right.
and order yourself a physical copy.
I love
You're
that
on tour.
cover. I
I know that is a great cover, Matt.
Yeah.
That's a
That
great
took
job.
a lot of work.
But it was done really well. That's good. It really
is.
is a good cover. So, and then don't forget
big
tickets
shout
on,
out to Brandy who took the photo.
and tickets on sale now for Winter Storm happening November 16th at the Juke Joint with Post Profit, Messer, New Dilemma, them guys, And I'll go ahead and say it. A Moment of Violence, unfortunately, will not be on the show. We will have them replaced. By the end of the week, we will have another band in their place, but A Moment of Violence. The lead singer is also a professional wrestler. And he took a bad fall and broke his femur. So
Oh,
he's
shit.
unfortunately not able to perform until sometime after January. So they're having to, and that's what sucks about having to be in a band these days, because you can't just be in a band. You got to have other hobbies to make money. You got to have other jobs
Right.
to make money and all of that. And things like this just happen.
They do.
Yeah.
So you may see them on another show. Who knows?
Right.
Yep. You never know. So
Anyway.
but thank you everyone for joining us. We will talk to you next week. And until then, see ya.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.